Hi guys, today is May 24th, 2019 at 2 minutes past 2 in the afternoon over here in the UK, and I just want to present a quick theory. It's a different one that I've kind of just come up with, but it's kind of intriguing me and I wanted to present it to find out what you guys think of it as well. If we think of Meghan Markle's birth as a marker in this video, which I do, and that was on May 6th, I believe, what if the video at this point is splitting into two different timelines, one going this way and one going this way? When the apple drops and rolls across the ground 7 times, I'm looking at that as 7 months later. So going into December, and I've got those dates in December already marked on my channel. If you want to have a look, please feel free. But what if this way the video is playing backwards? So this way the video plays forward into December 7 months later, but this way the video plays backwards in the events but forwards in the timeline. I'll explain. If this is all talking about May, Meghan Markle gives birth, apple drops, let's just symbolically reference that as Archie being born. The video is going to play backwards right now, so I'm just going to play it. Then we have the reference to Obama and his graduation cap, and JK's referenced that as graduation in terms of his presidency, and that may be a possibility as well, but I think that it may be referencing the college or university that Obama went to and the graduation day of that. That's only in this interpretation if the video is split in two from that point with the children in the classroom. And May 6th, Meghan Markle gave birth, and then May 22nd, Columbia University, which is the college, part of the college campus that Obama graduated from, had their graduation day on May 22nd. We then have the video continuing to play, and then we have the reference to the Bush Donald Trump character. At this point in the video, he looks over in that way where we think he's looking at something going over him, which could be a missile, and I'm just going with that interpretation for this video. So if Obama's graduation day was on May 22nd, and this part of the video is referencing a time period after that, it's possible it could be May 25th. Donald Trump is going to Japan, and he's going to be in Tokyo on May 25th. And the peace talks between North Korea and the United States have collapsed as of late. So I'm thinking it's a possibility that North Korea could launch a missile over Japan, as they have done in the past, as a kind of message. And that's what we're seeing here with him looking over like that. But then the other next reference we get is the hand and the wave-like motion he makes, which may suggest the missile that was launched causes some sort of tsunami. Now that would have to be a nuclear missile, I believe, and it's possible that it could be the Jushi bird. I just really don't. When I'm thinking of this interpretation, it's hard for me to think of North Korea just taking that massive leap and launching their nuclear weapon into the Pacific Ocean, as they have threatened to do in the past. But possibilities abound, so I'm giving you the interpretation. They've clearly launched missiles over Japan before, so that's not something that's impossible. They've been working on their nuclear program, so that's not impossible. And Donald Trump is going to be in Tokyo, so the possibilities are there, which is what I'm presenting. After that, we get this, when it's played backwards, we get this, his hands go inwards, and we get the motion kind of things going in. So I'm just going to kind of rewind it a little bit and let it play through that motion. So it's very possible that the missile detonates in the ocean and creates, I don't know, a vacuum, or has something to do with an earthquake, and the ground splits and sucks the water in. If that's the case, then that is a direct reference to Revelation 12, where we have the dragon cast out of the mouth. Sorry, that's the wrong part I'm reading there. There we go. So the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood. So let's imagine the Jushi bird is a representation of the serpent detonating in the water, causing a tsunami, which spews forth like a flood. The earth helped the woman. The earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood. So the tsunamis happened, then some sort of earthquake event happens, and the ground opens, and the water is sucked into the ground. I think that's then connected to the next motion we see, which is the head swirling around and his hands moving around the motion. I think that's connected to a whirlpool event. So, missile detonation, tsunami, earthquake, whirlpool. That's one possibility. The other interpretation I've got still follows the same timeline in terms of May 22nd, graduation day for Obama, for the university or college where Obama graduated, and then May 25th, Donald Trump in Tokyo. Instead of a missile event, or along with the missile event, something to do with the asteroid that I just talked about in the previous video that's going to be passing by Earth tomorrow. Well, the mile-wide one and the smaller one. And as I said, I think the smaller one might be the problem. In this scene, on the chalkboard, there's images hidden, which I've referenced before. I think this one is of an object impacting the Earth. I think this is a outline of countries or something, and this jagged, brighter white imagery is of the impact itself, where the actual object is impacting. Could be fake, could be not, I'm not sure, but I'm just giving you the interpretation. May 25th is obviously, as I mentioned in the previous video, warning from NASA that we have, obviously I don't trust NASA, but warning from them saying that there is a mile-wide asteroid passing pretty close to Earth, visible from the northern and southern hemisphere, and accompanying it is a smaller asteroid which orbits it. And as I mentioned, they have redirection tests and stuff like that they've been doing, so it's possible they may do something like that. It's full of possibilities. And that could be what impacts the ocean instead of the missile, or accompanied with the missile, or maybe after or before. I don't know, maybe they want to do both. But certainly, that could cause a vacuum to follow behind the object as it sinks into the ocean, and that could cause a whirlpool event, which is obviously maybe connected to the swirling pattern that we see there. This interpretation doesn't discount other interpretations, such as the hurricanes and tornadoes and stuff like that we've been looking out for. It adds on to them. The last thing that I kind of want to mention about the 25th with Donald Trump in Tokyo is this scene here. In this scene, we appear to have Donald Trump, well, the Bush character, who also represents Donald Trump, leaning forward with his eyes blank. Suggestion is that something has happened in terms of maybe he's been shot in the back of the head. That seems to be what they put in this video. There appears to be the shape of a gun just behind him, hidden behind the shark, but just behind him here. And that appears to be why his eyes have gone blank and he leans forward like that. I think this character over here, I see Asian in there. That's what I see. I'm not being racist, but that's what I see. That slick, shiny black hair, kind of elongated eye area. So maybe something happens while he's in Tokyo. The security is going to be tight. I've been reading in the news report, so something like that shouldn't happen. But again, the hangman here, reference to death, XX 10 10 20, and the V5 could be a reference to the 25th of any month, but it could be the 25th of May while he's in Tokyo. He gets shot over there by someone while North Korea launch a missile over into the Pacific, or an asteroid impacts the ocean. Either way, tsunamis are generated, or a tsunami is generated. An earthquake or earthquakes happen, and I think the Whirlpool event is quite strong. The reason I suggest that in association with May is because we're not quite into hurricane season just yet. June is generally the start of hurricane season. I believe there's going to be a hurricane in the Gulf on June 1st, which I haven't um, checked exactly where it's tracking just yet, but I will do after this video. But considering, as I said, we're not completely in hurricane season yet, the more likely event with the swelling pattern in connection with this interpretation would be a whirlpool event created by an asteroid impact and an earthquake after that, or a missile impact and an earthquake after that. And as I said, it all just goes back to the Bible, Revelation 12, the waters being spewed forth and the earth opening to swallow the water. Tsunami, earthquake, whirlpool. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the heavenly